Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Storytime Fun Time. If you're new here, and today we have something super exciting for you, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and let's dive right in. In the year 1347, a darkness unlike any other began to creep across Europe. It was not the darkness of night, nor the shadow of war, but something far more insidious, something unseen but profoundly felt. The Black Plague, a deadly disease that struck fear into the hearts of all who heard its name, was about to change the world forever. In a small village nestled between the hills of France, there lived a young woman named Alise. She was the daughter of a skilled blacksmith, and her life was simple but filled with the warmth of family and the familiarity of the village's routine. The laughter of children echoed through the streets, and the scent of freshly baked bread wafted from the bakery. It was a place where time seemed to move slowly, unhurried and content. But all that was about to change. One crisp morning, a caravan of traders arrived at the village, bringing exotic spices, silks, and other treasures from the distant lands of Asia. They were a welcome sight, for trade meant prosperity, and the villagers eagerly gathered to meet the travelers. But as the wagons rolled into the town square, so too did a silent, invisible passenger. Within days, a strange sickness began to sweep through the village. It started with a fever, sweating, chills, and a sharp pain in the bones. The sick were isolated in their homes, as there was no medicine to cure them. People whispered of strange black sores that would appear on the skin, festering and growing larger by the hour. The sores, the doctors claimed, were the mark of death itself. Alise's father, a strong and stoic man, was one of the first to fall ill. His cough was relentless, and soon, his breath became ragged. Alise tried everything she could, herbs, prayers, and even charms that the village healer offered, but nothing seemed to slow the fever. In a matter of days, her father passed away in a sleep, his body cold and stiff, the plague having claimed yet another victim. As the days wore on, the village became eerily quiet. Those who were still healthy kept their distance from the sick, afraid of contracting the plague. The town square, once bustling with life, was now abandoned, save for the occasional cart that rolled through, carrying the bodies of the dead. The burial pits grew deeper, and the scent of death hung heavily in the air. Alise, determined to survive, refused to leave her father's side. She stayed by his grave, her hands trembling as she dug, alone, in the cold earth. The weight of grief and fear was unbearable, yet she pushed forward, remembering the laughter that had once filled her home. One evening, as the sun set behind the hills, casting the village in an orange glow, Alise spotted a figure in the distance. It was a cloaked traveler, walking slowly toward the village. His face was obscured, and his movements were deliberate and cautious. He stopped at the edge of the village, looking around as if sensing the death that lingered in the air. Curiosity overcame Alise, and she approached him cautiously. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The traveler looked at her, his eyes hidden beneath the hood. "I am a wanderer," he said softly, "a traveler of fate." Alise hesitated, her instincts telling her to be wary of this stranger. Yet something in his voice, calm and steady, made her trust him. "What brings you here?" "The plague, it has taken many lives." The traveler nodded solemnly. "It has taken much, yes. But death is not the end. It is only a part of a much greater journey." Alise felt a chill run down her spine. "And what of us? Those who survive." "Survivors carry the weight of the dead," the traveler said cryptically. "They must learn the lessons of the plague, for it is not just a disease that has spread. It is a reckoning. The world will change, and with it, so will you." Before Alise could ask more, the traveler turned and began to walk away. As he disappeared into the shadows, a strange sense of peace settled over her. She didn't fully understand his words, but she knew that the plague was not just an illness, it was a test. In the months that followed, Alise found herself among the few who had survived. The plague had ravaged the land, killing millions, and leaving entire cities abandoned. But as the world around her fell into ruin, Alise carried with her a new understanding, a sense that life, even in the face of death, was worth living. The darkness of the plague had shown her the fragility of existence and the strength of the human spirit. And so, she set out on her own journey, guided by the lessons of the past, determined to rebuild what had been lost and to honor the memory of those who had fallen. She knew that the world would never be the same, but perhaps, in the ashes of the old world, a new beginning was waiting to emerge. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome content. Drop a comment below and let us know what you'd like to see next time. Until then, stay awesome, and we'll see you in the next one.